Here goes nothing. A lot of coolant will pour out of it. That's why you put a bucket underneath to catch it all. Okay, we got a 2019 F350 here. I'm about to take this faulty EGR cooler off, and it's not too hard. Come here. Okay, removing the cooler, your faulty EGR cooler, so you can put the new one on. It's not too hard. First thing that I do is remove the exhaust manifold pipe that goes from the cooler here to here. I bust these two bolts loose first. Right here, I already have the block off plate on it right now. You see down in there? Let's see. Right there, I already put the protection plate on it to keep you from dropping bolts in there while you're removing the faulty one and putting the new one on. But I bust those two outer bolts loose first, and just so I know that they're not going to break and they come off easy. That's the worst part right there. And it goes from here to that port there. Remove that, and then I'll take this pipe off, this one here to here, and then you've got the there's a vacuum line that hooks up right here, follows all the way around underneath the cooler and comes all the way to here. Focus right there. I block it off right here and take the whole vacuum line off, and then I'll start by splicing these. All you do is pretty much remove this joint right here, put you a male to male in between these two, the one that goes that way over there, and tease into these two. You can identify it by the short hose right here. Leave the short hose, connect these two hose clamps. There you go. That's connected. This is junk now. 3 bolts in the center. One's underneath this plug. 1, 2. One right there on that little black plate. Then you got 2 bolts up front. These 2 right here. That one. That one. This harness was on there. Took them off. All I did was just thread it back in there so I didn't lose the bolts. Then you got 2 on this side. One is right there underneath that black plug. Right there. And there's one further back there. Okay, see that hole right there that we're looking at? It's not that one. There's that little flap, that brace flap right there on the other side of that one. It's just on the back side of it, but there's only 2 bolts on this side. And then over here, you've got 1, 2 right there, that stud. Actually, no, there's a bolt right there next to the stud. There you go. Just on the other side, there's the second one right there. 1 right there, 1 back there. You can see where it's shiny. Took it out. It has 2 bolts on it. It's what holds the EBP sensor. You take the first one off, get the EBP sensor brace off of it, and then a 12 millimeter underneath, and that takes the stud out. And then the last one is part of these 3 up front. After that, you've got a loose EGR cooler. All you gotta do is pop it off now. Before I go to remove it, there's this little Christmas tree connector. It goes into the intake manifold. Pull it out, pop this hose loose. There's 2 pinch pins right here. You squeeze those, pop this dude off of that pipe right there, and then move this harness, pull this Christmas tree out. It's right here, connected in here. Just get kind of everything loose so you can break this free from the valve cover and kind of snake it out. It's a little bit hard, but it'll come. So here goes nothing. A lot of coolant will pour out of it. That's why you put a bucket underneath to catch it all. Just kind of snake this whole cooler out of here. Look at what all you're catching on. Make sure you're not ripping no cables. Flip it upside down. There you go. EGR cooler is out of the truck. You can kind of see these bolts a little bit better now that it's off. There is one. That's one that goes all the way through, all the way up to the other side. Same here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bolts. Hey, now that you got all this free space for working and putting your new EGR cooler on, while you're waiting on it to ship, we're gonna throw a protection plate, keep you from dropping stuff down in your coolant here. On here. These protection plates right here are provided by Gorilla Diesel Performance. First one that goes on has this O-ring. Stuck it down in there. Follow the little groove around. Make sure you got it in there good too. Follow it around. It should be the correct size to just fit down in there. I make sure that mine is seated really well, that way nothing leaks. There you go. And these plates right here are called a flow through plate, so they can get a little bit, well, not too confusing, but I know the first time I looked at them, I remember having to put it together a little bit. But so the plates on your valve cover, you have 2 gaskets here. That they only go on one way, but that makes this seal on this side of this plate here. Those 2 gaskets go around here and right here. This right here is the first thing that goes on, with the O-ring that you just put on facing up like that. The second one has nothing but just this channel for the coolant to flow through. Flip it up, set it on here, get your first bolt, it'll kind of set. Get your first bolt, work it down in there, get it finger started. Go ahead and just stick your second one on there, get it finger started. Third one from the center, there you go, get it started. And when tightening these down, I like to go center out. I don't know if it makes a difference, but that's what I do. Just kind of get it snugged up. That one a little bit snugged up there. This one's snugged up. And then once everything's lined up good, go ahead and torque her down. Get this dang plug out of the way. There's one that's probably tight enough. Go ahead and hit this one. They're going into aluminum, so don't just crank on them. Make sure they get a good seal though. There's that one. There's that one. There you go. That is how you remove your faulty EGR cooler. I wanted to touch on something real quick that I forgot to tell you prior to doing this all. I just pulled my air intake, straight off of the boot right here. Pull it out, 2 post clamps, and then the air box, you don't have to take it off. I've seen people take this off. You don't have to. Just take the top off, pull your air filter out. That way you don't get any coolant or whatever in your filter. But you can just pull the outside of it, and you got plenty of room to shuffle that cooler out of there.